Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Welcome, Talking Circles with Chris Carter. We are live at the Choice Tire Automotive Studios. This show is brought to you and presented by J&T Services. I'm going to see how long I can keep my hands in my hoodie pocket, Sydney Sanders. How long do you think this will last?
Until 7:05.
You been all right? We missed you last week.
Yeah.
Yeah? Everything going good your way?
Yep. It's going great. I'm just in the thick of being a mom.
Yeah. What do you think? I want you to look right there to the right of the screen how our producer has got
I know,
our
he's
sponsors.
so talented.
Our sponsors will scroll and do that. Look at there. Here's MJ Print and Graphics. So he's really, the studio's different. We can look right at him right there. I can throw stuff at him and make direct contact.
We
Eric
can see
Messer,
what he's Googling.
Eric Messer Media. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How about y'all?
Doing real good. No complaints.
Good. Awesome.
No complaints. Had a good weekend at New River All American Speedway. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
It's March. We're 1 month closer to
42 days, Messer, for Bowman Gray Stadium.
I think it's 46.
I haven't seen Squeaky's countdown.
He gets confused.
I have
sometimes.
a countdown on Chase Robertson's website.
Oh.
Do you?
Yeah, it was 46 days today.
Why am I saying 42? I'm trying to make it get here. I want it to hurry.
I don't know, man.
I think you're forgetting that March has 31 days.
We're gonna have tornadoes. We're gonna have 4 tornadoes tomorrow here in the Triad area. I'm looking forward to that.
Don't tell me that.
Look how long that it lasted. 7:03. All right, good weekend. New River All American Speedway. Very good weekend. We'll talk about that throughout. I do want to give a Noel update here in just a minute. But before, as I always say, Miss Sydney, our co-host, is going to read these sponsors. Please, if you hear one of these businesses on here that she mentions, y'all go follow and like their page, please. It don't cost a dime. Sydney?
All right. We would like to thank H&H Auto Repair, Velasta, Race for Kids, Pulliams Hotdogs BBQ, Precision Built Spindles, Realtor Renee Hackett, Ideal Corn, Affordable Septic, Enticing Icings, Dutton Safer Systems, The Garage Shop, Choice Tire and Automotive, Frank Steaks, J&T Services, DL Outfitters, Gary Brown Dream 68, Midway Dry Cleaners, Cobble Speed Shop, JTA Soft Wash and Roof Cleaning, Koger Plumbing, 5 Points Tire and Auto, Harkey Litigation, Ever Ready Mix Concrete, Heroes Patriot Water, Hall's Heating and Air, Robin Sandblasting, Yule Skinner Trucking, Messer Media, Garage Doors of the Triad, MJ Printing and Graphics, Midway Music Hall and Event Center, Thunder Road Bar and Grill, Midway Mobile Storage, Make TV Great with Nate, Louis Custom Showers and Glass, Radical Fire Protection, Tea Time Sports Bar, Burke Street Pub, Captain's Retreat at Bear Creek, Speed 77, Squeaky Clean Express and Ceramic Coatings, Colfax Towing and Auto Repair, Velocity USA, and KevinSaysYes.com.
That's right. Good job. Thank you very much, Sydney. I want to say a big hello. Grant, Carly Bassett said, Grant said, hey. So, hey, Grant.
Hey, Grant.
Hey, Grant. Master, tell Grant, hey.
Hey. I'm
He's
texting their guest. Sorry.
Which one?
Somebody. I don't know. Hang on.
Um,
Somebody's already in. I'm trying to figure out who it is.
That's good. That's good. It's probably Ronnie and Tate. Tate's raring to go, I guarantee you. Okay, Noel update. Noel Strong on Facebook. Once again, it's the same old song and dance, really, and I guess that's how it goes. Sad. Noel update. Her radiation simulation is completed, and that's done prior to radiation for better planning, fitting of her mask, etc. Her mom and dad that's just something they're not looking forward to, and neither is Noel. Radiation is scheduled for next Tuesday, which is today, okay? For the brain, it will be one session that lasts about 30 minutes, a 30-minute session, Sydney, on that child. She's 7 years old, on her little brain, and then scans every 2 to 3 months to monitor the mass in her cerebellum. While under sedation, they placed her 9th and 10th feeding tube.
Mm-hmm. So sad.
So, y'all see the updates that all I do is really just share their post or whatever, and a lot of y'all respond to it. Thank you very much. Y'all just please remember this child in your prayers. Also, our first Talking Circles with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services, our first fundraiser for 2025 is going to be March the 15th. Y'all put that on your calendars. March the 15th. It's going to be at Choice Tire and Automotive, and that's on Highway 66 in Kernersville, North Carolina. What was that?
I'm trying to get the comments up, and my volume was up.
Oh, dang, it's a little behind, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I was like, somebody's calling in.
we were saying, "Hey, Grant."
So, Bria Scott, for those of y'all didn't hear this before, once again, March 15th, Choice Tire Automotive will be our Talking Circles with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services, Race for Kids Foundation, first fundraiser of 2025. We're March, I done said that. Bria Scott, doctors discovered she was severely anemic, and as they were preparing her for a blood transfusion, she went in cardiac arrest. Doctors told her family she only had a 10% chance of living. Medical teams fought to revive her for hours. Her family was then faced with a difficult decision of amputating her leg above the knee to save her life, which they had to do. Her heart has an abnormal anatomy to it, and that requires surgery, which she has to have, and that's where we, us, y'all, everybody comes in. Race for Kids Foundation, this podcast. Ideas, suggestions, and volunteers are very highly recommended. I want everybody to be a part of that. I believe when I was talking to Eric Engelbert of Choice Tire and Automotive, that we might have Bert and Slate's car there. So you see how I opened the door and there's a clock up there, so if y'all wonder what I'm doing here. Okay, so speaking of,
It's even got the temperature.
The temperature in here.
Oh,
it's 96. Gosh, dog, master.
wonder why I was sweating.
96 at the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios. I do want to give a shout out to Chris Williams and everybody on that Smart Tour. I seen the videos and what have you, how they honored our friend, my buddy, Zach Brewer. Did you see it, Sydney?
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing short of amazing. What they done, Blake Barney won the race, and he actually got in Zach's car after he won and did a victory lap with Zach's flag after the race. He said it when he was being interviewed. He didn't know Zach. And for him to do that for somebody he doesn't know, but he's seen the impact that Zach had. That's a big deal for Zach's dad, Doug, Zach's wife, Kim, their daughter, Avery. Very emotional time. It's been a year. It doesn't seem like that. It really doesn't. And, we're all going to die, but it's just that gum. I remember when Emma died, it's just like there was a year before you knew it. It seemed like 2 months ago. But continue once again to keep Avery and Kim in your prayers, because that's a tough deal, man, especially the way that he went. But anyway, I do want to give that shout out to Chris Williams and everyone involved with the Smart Modified Tour. Congratulations to Blake Barney on the win. Speaking of Smart Modified Tour, what about the driver of the number 4?
Oh, Slate Myers.
I saw some people hyping him up on Facebook.
So 15-year-old Slate Myers is racing the Tour full-time, of course, this year. Slate made his debut last year at Caraway. Okay, and of course, y'all know he run a full season in the modified division at Bowman Gray Stadium. His uncle Jason Myers is the crew chief, and Slate finished 4th. His dad, who is a Smart Modified Tour champion, finished 12th. There's that. I text Bert, and that's a proud dad moment, no doubt about it.
For sure.
That's when Clayton Tate starts racing and outruns you. It's going to be the same thing. It's a proud mom moment. You want to outrun him, but of course, I get it.
Yeah, because I'll have to hear about it every day.
Well, yeah. So that's congratulations to Slate Myers.
Yes.
And even to Bert, Jason Myers. Here's something that I wasn't aware of when I was doing a little digging today. The Myers number 4 car has competed in every race the Smart Tour has ever had, dating back to the Tour's creation in 1989. Did you hear that, Messer?
Yeah.
I wasn't even
Incredible.
alive.
That's incredible.
You wasn't alive. When was you born?
1994.
I wasn't alive either.
He's younger than me.
What in the world have I got going on here? All right, the next race is Saturday for the Smart Tour, next Saturday at Anderson Motor Speedway. That is in Williamston, South Carolina, on their 3/8 mile track. We're gonna save. Yeah, we're gonna save our NASCAR talk. Got a lot of little notes. I told y'all in our little group text we are gonna cover some NASCAR. There's plenty to talk about that. So in the meantime, we got about 3 minutes. Let's do this. Let's say hello to all of our amazing people. Man, let me start at the top. Don't want to leave nobody out. Okay. Yes, Travis, Tiger is coming for another championship this year. We'll see y'all in Victory Lane. I like that. Travis Newman talking about Tiger, Tommy Neal.
I'll think about Tiger Woods.
Dang, with all those sponsors, all three of y'all should be making money, good money each week. Your husband don't have a clue about a lot, does he? Millbridge starts the 11th and 12th. Okay, there you go. I plan on doing that a lot this year. Me and Messer went last year, had a good time. Hey, Justin Long, thank you for your support. Thank you, Miss Kimberly Childress Lanning, for watching. Kathy Lanning, Josh Stanley. Sydney Sanders is watching. I want to tell her hello.
Hey.
Josh Stanley. Hello, Chris, Cindy, and Eric. Gene Huston, thank you for tuning in. Travis Newman, heck yeah, I can't wait to see another one. Blake Morgan, our buddy, a big time supporter of the show. Good to see you Saturday in New River, talking circles with Chris Carter. First time ever at that track, and for sure we'll be back. Glad you. I told y'all I didn't know I was gonna have to do the opening ceremonies and all that. But anyway, waiting on a flyover. Those fans are still looking up in the air, waiting on said flyover.
You should have been like, it went by so quick they didn't see it.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Blake was there, so he got to see him doing a little thing. I make noise, yeah. And then I'm like, and please rise and remove your hats for your invocation. And in my ears, like, no, not yet. No. And I'm like,
you should have started doing a
Connor
solo.
Connor Hall is fast today in qualifying. I mean, I was just like,
Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. Up, down, up, down.
So when it was time, I was like, and since y'all are still standing down, remove your hats. Kip Childress, you look at, he's going. Carson Ellis, she's over there going, keep going. Anyway, Carson Ellis, she does a lot. That girl's got it going on, and she is a major factor in the smart tour. I mean, the smart cars tour, Christopher, cars tour.
Got a lot of tours around here.
Yeah, and it's that time of the year, man.
Yeah.
Millbridge, I'm excited. I'm glad that he told us that. Hey, Sydney, Keith, and Kimberly.
That's Tate's grandparents. I told you me and Carly go way back.
Right, but I was just thinking Keith and Kimberly. Did we have somebody in the studio we didn't know about?
That's their names.
Scott Royal says, Slate is my driver. All right, I'm trying to catch everybody. Hey, Chris Pelkey, flagman at New River All American Speedway. Hey, Andrew Fuller. Donald Trump is watching again. That gum Trump, he's got all those tariffs, that mean man. Charlie Pudens, hey, Charlie, what's up, buddy? All right, Chris set everyone up on that one. I did. Not intentionally, but I did. All right, so much for all that. All right, so what we're going to do, Messer said we're doing 2 commercial breaks, so we're going to take our first commercial break. I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Sydney. Glad to have you back. Messer, thank you for what you do. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Jimmy Brown of J&T Services buys junk, unwanted vehicles of all types. He removes scrap metal, specializes in trash removal and eviction cleanups. Whether it's a bed or a table or even old washer and dryer, Jimmy Brown, you don't play around. Serving the Triad area since 2007, J&T Services is firefighter owned, and you can reach them at 336-341-1171, or you can go to J&T Services on Facebook. Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
Welcome back, Talking Circles, presented by J&T Services. We are live at the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios here in Kernersville, North Carolina, which is next door to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And y'all, I had Ronnie on. Ronnie was a guest last week, and Tate was just in his lap. So I've got several text messages after Tate wins the juice box race. Chris, you've got to have Tate on. And you know what? Back by popular demand, they are so right. And let's welcome Tate and Ronnie Bassett Jr. to the show. Hey, guys. How's it going? Look at him.
Oh, hello, Tate.
Tate, what are you doing?
Uh-oh.
Tate, can you hear me? Yeah, well, we can't hear him. Hold on, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, there he is.
I heard that voice.
Hey, Tate.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. How are you doing? What's that? What you got right there?
My trophy?
Have you been sleeping with it?
No.
Oh, excuse me.
No, well, tell everybody how you got that trophy. Show them I know you got that medal that you wear around your neck. Is it close by too?
It's working.
I heard my mama.
You heard your mama? Tate, tell everybody that's watching, man, how did you get that trophy right there in your hands, in your lap?
Because I had it first.
Yeah. What did you do to win it?
You want the juice?
I won my juice box race.
Oh, yeah? You won your juice box race.
So what was your strategy? Did you just put the pedal to the metal and take off? Yeah. I seen you looked like you was warming your tires up on the back stretch.
So y'all, Investor, do you got a video?
I do. Hang on one
All right,
second.
I want you people, y'all at home, I want y'all to check this out. I want y'all to watch this. So no, Fat Chris is in there in the middle announcing this. You can't hear him, but
Look at you.
look. All right, Tate, stand by. We're going to show your race real quick, okay?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. We'll be right back.
Maybe. There we go.
All right, so that would be turn one. Look at his little hands, how he's doing right there. Watch him look at his parents. Look. This is the last lap. Into three. See him go a little wide right there. How he just... Look at him looking at everybody in there in the side. There goes Fat Chris. Listen to him.
And then he just pulls on over.
Watch this. Look at him. Look at
He can't get out fast enough.
Look at that. Look, there's me. Come on, boy. Come on.
Get out. I was doing an interview. I was like,
Grab that little hand.
Down a little bit. I didn't. He missed the corner down there. Looked like his dad.
I wish y'all could have heard the me talking to him, and Ronnie them can tell you. It's like I knew he would respond, and he was my little go-to. But I'd say like, Tate, tell the crowd to make some noise, and he'd say, tell the crowd to make some noise. He would repeat what I said. Tate, man, I was proud of you. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I was talking to somebody. I thought it was Messer. Anyway, you are you are the youngest guest on our Cam's Corner, brought to you by Pulliams Hotdogs and BBQ segment. You were the youngest one at 5 years old. So you have made history here at Talking Circles with Chris Carter. And
Look at his
you have on the Cam's Corner, brought to you by Pulliams Hotdogs and BBQ segment. That's pretty cool, huh? Maybe I got to get you a trophy.
Okay.
Yeah, you like that?
He said, okay.
Yeah.
Only if you let us hold your trophy.
No.
Oh,
So
why
he-
not?
letting me on the show.
Thank you for letting me on the show.
You're welcome, buddy. So for y'all listening at home, him and Grant and them were walking around, and somehow all these kids find me, and me and Tristan and Jade, and I don't know, there's about 7 of us sitting there, and he holds that medal that he has. Show him the medal. Show him the medal.
He ain't got his
I
medal.
don't have it.
Oh, okay. Did somebody steal it?
Nope.
Oh, you lost it?
He said, oh.
No, I didn't.
How many more trophies are you going to win?
100.
100?
That's a lot.
That's a good goal.
Yeah.
When's
start
your
building some
next juice
shelves.
box race?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you going to get Grant out there racing with you?
No.
No. Why?
Because he didn't go. He went to the. He didn't do it right.
He didn't do it right. Well, you got to teach him. You just say, follow me.
I didn't say that. My mommy didn't let me.
Oh, my goodness. Well, maybe next time.
Oh, me. This is priceless.
Your mama didn't let you.
Tate,
What?
who all do you want to thank for being there?
God.
That's good, buddy. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, so for those of y'all listening at home, once again, y'all seen the reaction. He had so many people cheering for him and just pulling for him, and when he won, but so his little hands, that was the last lap. The first lap, those little hands going into one, y'all. I mean, it was just like, it looked like, warming your tires. So I was thinking to my head while I was watching him that he has done seen Ronnie so many times heating the tires up, before they go take the green or whatever, or getting ready to take the green. And he just felt like that's what he was doing. I might be wrong, but you was getting those tires ready to go, wasn't you, Tate?
Did you get like Waffle House for winning or your favorite meal or ice cream?
Nope.
What in the world?
So
Let's build
those,
some traditions.
Oh,
there
there's
it
the
is.
medal.
There's that medal. Look, oh.
Oh, you just can make a band with it, can't you?
So what I was going to tell y'all is his over there now. He wanted to get on the wall, so I put him on the wall. And anybody that would look his way, he would take that medal and he would show everybody,
Oh.
like Tristan McKee and Jade Avadisian that's going to be on later. He would show her and everybody. He was so proud of it. And, that's special. That's a big deal for Ronnie and them. Ronnie, step into the picture, man. I got to include you there.
Oh.
You're going to have to make the camera where we
That's
can-
almost like me sitting beside you.
I know. We got to do a lot of chair arranging. Sydney's 6'2" and I'm 5'2". Ronnie, man, I'd watch the race from the front stretch and then the back stretch. And then early in the race, I don't have a radio on or nothing. I don't know what's going on, but I'm keeping my eye on you. Now, Tristan is also in a wreck, so he looked like open wheel modified. So the heck, I was like, well, he ain't going to do nothing. So I started watching you. And there you are in the back. You're back there with him, okay? And then you start working your way through, and then you're in the back again. And I'm like, what am I missing? I'm missing something here. So I'm gonna let you explain it, but I do know this. I counted, and you was about with 42 maybe to go. I'm not sure exactly. You was running 15th, and I started watching. Every time you'd come around off a turn 2 down that back stretch, you would start picking cars off. I'm like, man, he's 5th now. And then what laps are winding down, then you're 4th, and you finish 3rd, man. Just walk us through it, because I'll tell you what, Ronnie Bassett Jr., I've watched you race quite a few times. That's one of the best races I've seen you drive, because you overcome a lot of adversity. I don't know what the adversity was, but I know you had to overcome going in the back, coming to the front many times.
Yeah, I feel like we had a pretty good car all weekend. When it seems like every time qualifying comes around, we struggle. We'll have good speed throughout the weekend and just can't seem to back up the speed in qualifying. So, that kind of put us in a hole to start with. And we just, everybody trying to figure out who's going to go and not go at the beginning of the race, and cause a little stack up on the bottom getting into 3. And, after 3 or 4 rows back, it's kind of hard to see, and we kind of just got run over a little bit. It's ended up spinning us around and got a little nose damage. So, that kind of changed our game plan early on. We planned to get to the top 10 and just manage our tires and our car. And, like I said, we got spun around and got damaged. So that changed pretty quick. We just rode around in the back and, save tires and just try to stay out of the chaos. We pitted a couple times to fix some damage and work on the car. And, luckily it paid off. Like you said, with about 40 to go, we were, 15th or whatever it was. And we, like I said, just picked them off one at a time, just trying to be patient, be smart. I've had a lot of testing the last couple of years, so it was kind of a bad night turned into a decent night for us, and we were able to, finish in the top 3.
I did take something else, boy. I went and done an interview with you after the second practice, and you were the top of the speed chart. You was the fastest, and right then I liked your confidence, and you seemed pretty happy with your car. What does it mean to you as a driver to start the 2025 cars, the ZMAX Cars Tour season, with a top 3 a podium finish?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to finish. Practice don't pay nothing, but it's always
Right.
an ego thing just to to know that you got good speed. And it builds a lot of confidence in our team. We've struggled the past 2.5 years, and we'll be fast in practice and just can't translate that over into the race. So it was nice to actually have the race pace that I thought we had. It just shows all the hard work the guys put in over the winter to make the car better, and we're really looking forward to it. Like I said, these car tour races are hard to win, so it was nice to have a car to be able to compete with, and like I said, to overcome the adversity we did just shows that there's no quitting this team.
I like it. Tate, what did you think about Dad finishing 3rd? Was you happy? You got a win and he finished 3rd.
Nope.
No, you didn't like it?
Get out of here. He's got to tell us secrets.
Yeah. Did you like Dad finishing 3rd?
No.
He said I showed you how to win and you couldn't do it, and so he was mad at me after the race.
But guess what, Tate? Now you can say you have a trophy from New River and he doesn't.
Well, he still does.
Well, the
See?
most recent one.
See, Sydney, he
But the
does a
most
3rd
recent-
place trophy.
But it's the most recent. It's a winning trophy.
Oh. But his daddy still has a trophy, though. That's all that counts. Right, Tate?
Yep.
Yep. What's Grant doing?
Nothing watching.
Oh, is he? Washing dishes?
Watching.
Oh. Yeah.
Look at him.
Well, Tate, I hope we get to do that again. He got some good. Did you watch it on Flow, Ronnie?
Yeah, I did. I went back and watched it, and that's all he's want to do is just watch his race. So we watched it a handful of times for sure.
Now you
I
got to
kept
get
trying
your
to tell
logo
him to hold
card.
the wheel straight, and he just jerking it back and forth. And
Well, I wonder what that was about. I was thinking even during the race, I said, I don't know what made me think this during the race when I'm trying to talk about it or whatever, call it. I said, I guess he's done watched you heat your tires up or put some heat in them tires so many times that he just, maybe that was in his head. I don't know.
well, we practiced at the shop a little bit. We had some purple power jugs sit out front of the shop, and not so much we could do there. So when we got to the racetrack on Monday testing, I talked to Anthony. I was like, hey man, I said, my kid's gonna run a juice box race, but we need to be able to practice Friday so he can get out here, and if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
Right.
So we spent a half hour out there Friday evening practicing, and believe it or not, he was actually listening to me. So that was pretty cool. There were some lines and stuff on the track that he was able to follow. So it was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. It was definitely, he got some good TV time. But I just knew that now some of the kids, they would talk, but I knew Tate knows me, and I knew I'd get a response. And, we kind of got put on the spot there with some downtime. And when they said that, I said to myself, well, I know how I'm going to kill this. I'm going to the kids, and straight to Tate I went. You remember, but anyway.
The bad part is you never know what they're going to say.
That's why I do it. That's why I do it. That's why I love having the kids, and I love kids so much, man. And I'm proud of you, Tate. I'm glad I got to be the announcer for your first win.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Well, I appreciate you being on. Okay, you want to tell Grandma and everybody watching? Hey, tell everybody hey.
Hey, Gmo. Hey, Uncle Darren. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Nana, Papa JC. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Mommy. Hey, Poppy.
Good deal, buddy. Don't forget to thank God again.
God.
There you go. Ronnie, man, I enjoyed it this weekend, man, and I wish you, as you know, I'm a big fan. I wish you nothing but the best, man. Thank you for letting him be on, and he made history. He's 5 years old, youngest kid on our Cam's Corner, brought to you by Pulliams Hotdogs in segment ever. So he just keeps making records.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. And we enjoyed it, and hope you guys have a good rest of the evening.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you again soon.
See ya.
Did I talk like a big boy?
I don't care what y'all say. It's priceless. 5 years old, and he's already on a podcast, whatever we're called, show, podcast. He's a funny kid.
It makes me sad.
What? That was a happy time, Sydney.
I know that, but it means I'm getting old.
Gosh, love it. Anyway, all right. We have got another big personality coming up next. His name's Bobby McCarty. He finished second in the Cars Tour race on Saturday at New River All American Speedway. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
And I'll be right back.
I can hardly stand the heat. It's soaking underneath the sheets. Burning like a flame within. Blisters all over my skin.
If you need your hot dog experience to go to a whole new level, then you need to check out Pulliams Hotdogs and BBQ, because when it comes to hot dogs, it doesn't get more iconic than Pulliams. Pulliams Hotdogs and BBQ has been in business since 1910, which makes them part of the fabric of the Triad area, and their recipe hasn't changed in 114 years. Same barbecue, same slaw, same hot dogs. Pulliams is located at 4400 Old Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem, and their hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Come chill at the grill and enjoy yourself with family and friends at Pulliams Hot Dogs and BBQ. Since 2006, 5 Points Tire and Auto works hard to earn your trust and loyalty. They know how important it is to find a Winston-Salem car service you can rely on, so your satisfaction is their top priority each and every day. Their professional automotive service offers you years of combined expertise from their well-trained technicians. They treat their auto repair professionals well because they value their skill and can-do attitude. They know their team sets them apart, saving you, the customer, time and money, not to mention worry. When it comes to auto repair in Winston-Salem, 5 Points Tire and Auto is totally confident they are the best option in town. They're located at 3075 Kernersville Road in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and their hours are Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Welcome back. Talking Circus with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services. We're live at the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios. Coming up next, we're going to have Bobby McCarty on. Is he on? Not yet? Okay.
You're breathing too much. The temperature went up 2 degrees.
Now it's 95. It's 95 in the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios here in Kernersville, North Carolina. Master, I really like how the sponsors are steadily just going by. That's pretty neat how you done that.
He's pretty talented, you know.
Yeah, I do know.
Trying to get fancy over here.
So
Bougie.
we will talk about Master's experience. Now, look at this. These are all driver info sheets for me and Randy Pulliam for when the stadium starts. And I would say thank you to Messer for taking these. He printed them for me, done it. You know, we need this because we want to be able to. Now, believe it or not, sometimes we are limited on how many we can say because there's so many cars, but it helps us throughout a race under a yellow. We can look back at these sheets and give us another sponsor a shout out. But anyway,
Right.
well, we're real big on that, trying to make sure that the people that support y'all get the recognition they deserve, because without them, you just don't get to do what you love to do,
That's right.
as we all know.
Speaking of which, I need y'all, if you haven't had your picture updated in the past 5 years or further,
Get another
please
one.
come get your picture taken on Sunday. Pretty please.
Y'all look at Master setup right there. Does that
What if
not
they want to look younger?
look at that?
Young like they did 5 years ago.
Well, people are gonna be disappointed
I
because
know,
they say
Chris Fleming, he got his picture made. He's like, I like my old picture.
did he?
I look younger in that picture.
Yeah, see that I can. Yeah, I mean I see your point, Sydney, but you know somebody's
and Plus, I'm working with Austin here. We're gonna have a new design for the names on the scoreboard and everything. So
Really?
Yep, the new pictures really help us out with the new design and everything. So pretty please, come get your picture made and
Okay, I'll be there Sunday.
then get your
Sydney.
info
What?
sheets filled out.
Go back to that. Go back.
What?
Look at that. I mean, that we look like we are high cotton right there. I mean, that's just Messer's got a lot going on. I'm glad you done it like that so people can see everything that you do have going on and what you do. Got that Roadcaster Pro 2 board right there. She's still new, ain't she, Messer?
Yep, she updated again.
Oh no, I'm glad it wasn't 5 minutes before the show.
Yeah, it updated yesterday, and I got worried for a second. We got it figured out. We are good to go.
All right, so we're waiting for Bobby McCarty. Shoot him a text, Messer, if you don't mind.
He just popped on. I'm getting him set up. Give me just uno momento.
1 second.
All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let me get my.
All right, let's get
so I
him
can see
on.
comments while y'all talk.
Here you go.
What is up, Bobby McCarty? How are you, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Fat and happy, living the dream. I love cheeseburgers, yada, 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 man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so for everybody tuning in tonight, this is, as we just said, this is Bobby McCarty. So I want y'all to, those of y'all don't know, who've been in the cave or in the back seat today, this is the 2018, 19, 21 Cars Tour Late Model Stock Champion. He is the 2021 Virginia Late Model Triple Crown Series Champion. He's the 2021-23 Thunder Road 200 winner. He is the 2017 Hampton Heat 200 winner. He is the 2019 Thanksgiving All-Star Classic winner. He's the 20 and 21 Rodney Cook Classic winner. This man knows how to win races. And you know what, Bobby? I thought that you was going to start the season out with a win at New River All American Speedway, bud, because for a while there, it was you, then it was Connor, then it was Cade Brown. And then, I mean, it was just, it kept on, man. I mean, you'd lead a few laps, then they'd lead. I mean, it was just like you could have put a blanket over the top four, and it was some really, really good racing. And I'm like, man, Bobby, pull this thing out, bud. But hey, still, all in all, I believe that you had a good run for the most part.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we had a really good run. There for a little bit, I thought I had Connor too, but we just lost a little bit of drive, and he kept it. And with straightaways, as long as they are at that place, it just really, give him a pretty big advantage on us there at the end. But I was more concerned that the car was going to fall apart before we even finished the race, because we done spent the last month and a half rebuilding this thing. So I was concerned about that, and I just didn't want to look like an idiot. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go out there and something fall off or something crazy happen. And like I said, man, I just wanted to stay on the lead lap. Honestly, like I felt we was good. I didn't know we had a legitimate shot at it. After practice, I felt like we was a top 10 car. But you just never know with those kind of racetracks with the way they wear tires. So, I was just thinking, let's stay on the lead lap, get a top 10, bring it home in one piece, and we'll work on making it better. And just for the love of God, don't tear it up. That's all I kept thinking was, please don't tear it up. Because we have a very limited crew, not a limited crew, but we all have full-time jobs, and I do this on weekends that I don't have anything to do, or during the weeknights. So there's a lot going through my mind, throughout the day, Saturday, and it was just it was a different experience, man. But we had a hell of a time, and the car run good, and now we're all ramped up and ready for the next one.
So once again, people that are listening, that's from all over, that doesn't know Bobby McCarty or know about him, and he is now, what Bobby's telling y'all, he's driving his family-owned number 6, and that's after a decade for driving the likes of Nelson Motorsports and RS Race Cars. He's won a second best all-time 12 victories on the tour en route to the championships. Even your chassis is different now. It's after practice and leading up to the first Cars Tour race, you're the boss. They all answer to you. What would you grade yourself in the team after the first weekend?
Jeff, how'd I do? My crew chief said I did pretty good. So I reckon we'll say a B plus. The team I thought did really good, man. I mean, they was spot on. We actually, the way we left the shop and the way we raced it was very, very similar. So I mean, I felt like we was, you know, when we left the shop, I call it home. Our setup, that setup was home, and we didn't really go far away from home with the setup. It was really, really close. No spring changes, no nothing crazy. It was just a 16th here or a 16th there, different. And I think that was a big part of it too. Not going to the racetrack and completely rebuilding the car, with changing springs or control arms or whatever. Um, we raced it pretty much how we left the shop, and I'd say that everybody agrees that they can make changes at the track and be really, really close, but when you can start the race almost how you left home, that's probably your most precise measurement. So I think that was another big thing, was we unloaded and the car was good kind of from the get-go. So I think we all did our homework. We put a lot of time and work into just being as thorough as we could with this thing, going through the bump and all our angles and everything else. So I would say an A plus on the team, but we missed it by just a touch. So we'll go with an A. We'll just leave it at an A.
There you go. There you go. Which I wrote a little article. I got when I texted you and got that quote from you for the New River Facebook page. And as I noted in that little small article on the New River All American Speedway Facebook page, you're not running full time this season, and it's you basically said because the cost to run this series has escalated from the range that you could afford on your personal budget, based on your family auto parts business in Guilford County. And I do want to stress to everybody listening. There's people, you never know who's listening to this show. Now, if somebody came and said, "Hey, man, I've got $300,000 check that I'm gonna write to you. Bobby McCarty is in for the rest of the season. Is this correct?" I mean, I'm just throwing that number out there because I don't. It's more than that. I'm sure it's probably $500,000. But let's just say somebody writes a big check. Would Bobby and the team be able to do a whole year?
I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think to make a legitimate run at a championship, I would need a second car.
Right.
And just right now, the building I got is barely big enough for this thing to even fit in it. So I'd need a new car, another car. I'd need to work on this building to make it bigger so I could fit two cars in it and still have room to work on both of them. I mean, it take a lot. Then too, man, on top of that, that points racing deal is draining, man.
Yeah.
And it does take the fun out of it. I don't care what anybody tells you in this sport. When you're racing for championships, the first half of the season is great, but then you get to about that 3/4 point where you're like, oh hell, we got a shot at it, you know what I mean? And then you start looking at it seriously, and then you just start racing different, and everybody's mentality changes and everybody gets uptight, and it just sucks the fun out of it, man. I mean, once you win the championship, then you get a full off season of talking trash and having fun, but that last little bit is just really draining. And like I said, we are a small team. I do have some really good help, but they have full-time jobs too, and just to make sure that every weekend I go that we're at 100%, and I'm not working the guys too hard, and we're still working at our pace, in a relaxed environment. I just think, for right now, man, it's just I want to stick to about a every other weekend deal, and make sure we can go contend for wins every weekend. And I think with where we're at right now, that's probably our best bet. I don't, regardless of who called and said, "Hey, I'll give you 150,000." I would be honest with them, man. Like
Right.
I'm not going to waste my money. I'm not going to waste your money. Right now, I just don't have the means to completely commit to try to win any kind of championship. So, not saying that we couldn't maybe work something out if anybody's thinking about it, but just right now, man, I'm still building this thing. You know, we did a lot of work in the off season, and like I said, man, if we're going to the racetrack, it's going to be 100%. I'm not going to go halfway or rushing or anything like that. So just right now, from a time standpoint, and with everybody's schedules and stuff, it'd just be really hard to commit to that and do it the way I feel like we need to do it.
Bobby, you've been racing a long time in the Cars Tour. In your opinion, has this series changed throughout the years? In your opinion?
Yeah, it's definitely changed over the last few years with the new ownership group, and you know I'm a short track guy. It's probably all I'm ever going to be, and I'm good with that. I love short track racing. I think it's the best racing in the world. I also think it's the most authentic racing in the world because anybody can go home any given weekend is 100% pure. This is
Yep.
racing at its finest. I do feel it's starting to tending to trend more towards um, like the top three levels. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
getting pretty tight. And again, some people love that. Me particularly, I like short track racing. I want to keep that same atmosphere, that same feel. Um, so not saying it's wrong or right, just the way it kind of feels is kind of trending that way. And um, you know, I just don't. I don't want to turn. I don't want it to turn into ARCA. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I think that's everybody's biggest concern. The prices to rent these cars are going up. The prices to run them are going up, and you're seeing a lot more full time teams, and uh, it's changing a lot. And we're spending a lot of money. I mean, we're probably going to be spending the least out of everybody, but a lot of these guys are spending $400,000 or $500,000 to run these cars, and that's just to show up for the races. That don't include testing or what you tear up or anything else. So, you can easily hit 600,000-700,000 depending on what kind of year you have. And if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, I'm it might just be one race on Sunday, but I'll be racing on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I can't justify doing that at this level, and I wouldn't even if I could. I'd just put it all up and hey, we're gonna race like hell for about 5 years because I can make 600 grand last me a really long time. So like I said, not saying it's wrong or right, just it is changing. I do feel like it's trending a little bit that way, and like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing. The media ratings are up. I mean, a lot more people have eyes on the tour. You're seeing a lot more Cup drivers come into it, and I do like that part. You know what I mean? You turn on TV and they claim that they're the best, so I want them to come prove it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
with the way they, set up practice in that deal, like I did a couple Xfinity races a few years ago, and you show up and you get 15 minutes, and they should know you qualified. That's I don't know. That's really hard to do, and our deal is different. You can get you a car and you can go test every day that week or whatever you want to do, and I want them to come on. You know what I mean? Because I would gladly argue it's not the best drivers in the country; it's the best funded. And I don't think I have to name examples, but we see it a lot. You know what I mean? So I do enjoy the Cup guys coming, but like I said, it's definitely changing. I think a lot of the local tracks are starting to change too. They're starting to up their purses and do extra stuff to kind of get us to come there, which I think is a really good thing for short track racing as a whole. The car store does pull park out. There's no, there ain't no denying that, and you know, it's hard to go run local stuff and spend pretty close to the same money for a third of what you could win running the car store. So to see the local tracks start picking up, their payout and everything else, I think the car store is pushing the rest of the sport to be better. So I do think it's changing. In some ways, I think it's good. In some ways, I think it's bad.
That, and it kind of goes in as we get ready to wind it down. I'm old, been around this a long time, and if you take your hotel rooms, travel, food, pit passes, the cost of racing, it out of control. I don't think that's the right thing to say, Bobby, but it's real close to being out of control, in my opinion, because just for me, and that's how I put things in perspective. Okay, so I'm going to drive from Winston-Salem to New River. That's 3 hours and 20 minutes. I got to put X amount of dollars in gas. Got to have a room for 2 nights because I don't travel and announce the same day. It has to do with the brain injury. It's just the way I do it now. Blah, blah, blah. And then I say, okay, so let's just have a gooseneck trailer. Let's don't even talk about the big haulers, the cup looking haulers.
Yeah.
Those are diesels and everything. And you've got at least 4 people with you. Then you've got the wife, the kid, for the most part, most people. And like I said, I don't think, Bobby, that it's out of control, but it's real close on the edge
on the
from
verge.
of being at that position, in my opinion.
Well, and me and Cessna, my crew chief, was just talking about the race in Georgia. I ain't going to try to pronounce it because I can halfway say
Cordeal.
normal English, right? Yeah, whatever. So that one, the one in Georgia. In all reality, that's a 5-day deal. It's 10-hour drive. It's a racetrack we've never seen before. So you're leaving Wednesday morning, you're testing Thursday, you're testing Friday, you're practicing and racing Saturday, and then you got a 10-hour drive back home Sunday. And like I said, my whole team has full-time jobs, and that's really hard to pull off or even ask them to do, even if I could pay them. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a lot of time away from home. And again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm sure the series is going to trend that way, whether we want it to or not. But just the reality of it is, I think we're getting away from people like me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we and I don't mean me. I've only been here for 10 years, but you look at guys like Deke and Lee and C. Fogg, Phillip, all those guys. They spent years in this deal, and they did it the way I'm doing it right now. You know what I mean? They had a full-time job. They worked on the race car when they got home, and they went racing on the weekends. And now there's, like I said, there was 37 teams down there this past weekend, and I'm willing to bet 30 of them had full-time employees. And I just feel like with the way it's changing, it's pushing us away from our roots, kind of like the big 3 have done. You know what I mean? And that's what concerns me more than anything is, people love short track racing, man. Like, it's some of the best racing there is, and we're very passionate about it. We love this stuff. And I don't want to see us make the same mistake and put money before the sport like the big 3 has, and that's a big concern for me because, like, we're pushing 25 to 30,000 to rent some of this stuff. You know what I mean? So you look at ARCA, they're 40 to 60, give or take, depending on who you're looking at. So we're not far off of ARCA, and that's kind of the concern. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to see. I agree with you 100%. The cost to do this is very well on the verge of just being idiotic. You know what I mean? And I don't really see anybody trying to help at. You know what I mean? They talk about increasing the purse to help us, but we're race car drivers, man. At the end of the day, if you pay us more money, we will just go spend more money. You know what I mean? Like, that's the trade-off, We need to try to figure out a way to when I first started running the late model, you get a set of tires for $700. Now they're pushing $900, and that's something you got to buy every weekend at a minimum of 2. So you went from 12 to 1,300 to whatever it is, 17, 1,800 now. I mean, that's
pushing
stuff
2.
that adds up. And then the hotel rooms and the fuel, and it's really easy to spend $7,000 or $8,000 a weekend just to go run the car store, and on a perfect night, you'll break even if you don't tear nothing up. So it's definitely it's on that verge, and I hope we can kind of pump the brakes a little bit. But I think stuff's it's going to start changing in the next few years. I think a lot of these, like South Boston and Hickory and Tri-County and Dominion, they're starting to have those money races. And if we can keep that trend going, it can really get to a point where it would be considered a local show, but you could almost go money racing every weekend at these local events, you know, and
Right.
I think that would change the whole spectrum if we could get the local tracks to pay more for their local events. Then you know our cost to win ratio looks better. We do spend less money traveling to go to some of these local racetracks, and you know that could very easily offset this whole deal. You know, and it could change this whole racing world around, and I think it would be for the good. But like I said, I do see the track starting to make that initiative, which I think is better for everybody. So um, hopefully it works out, man. Like I said, I don't want to see this get too far away from its roots. I mean, I know to get more companies interested, you know, sponsors, stuff like that. You know, we got to clean it up a little bit, but I'll be honest with you. I think the only thing the car store really needed was to just get put on national television, put us on Fox. I can't even remember what I watched the other day. It was some kind of damn bicycle tandem racing, some kind of crazy stuff on ESPN. And I'm like, dude, the car store racing is way better than this. Why is this not on TV? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some crazy sports on TV, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Why can't we get the car store here, or even hell, just a local race? It would be better than that. So
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
no, man.
We
I
can.
always believe, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I feel like we're trying to fix something here. And I don't know, man. Well, fingers crossed. I mean, we're all on this same boat together, and
Right.
we're rolling.
Yep.
I feel like for the most part, we're rolling in the same direction. I don't want a few people to come in and run us into an iceberg. You know what I mean? Like that's the big concern. So, well, I'll keep our fingers crossed. I don't wish it to go bad. You know, I love this deal. It's what I do. I feel like I'm good at it, depending on the day. But you know, I want to do this for a really long time. You know.
We could sit here and talk another hour about this, but sadly, it's that time for our next guest. But you know, Bobby, as always, man, this is a couple times you've been on the show, and I really appreciate your time, sending me a quote for the article, and congratulations to you and your team, man, on a really, really good run. And hopefully that race, March 12th, I do want to say this before I let you go, for anybody watching and looking, if you do want to reach out to Bobby McCarty, you can't reach him, come to my Facebook page, reach me if you're interested in helping them get to Cordell for March 12th. If y'all are interested in throwing some dollars at him, he will represent your business and your brand good, okay? I promise. Bobby, thank you, buddy. Tell everybody I said hey. See you again soon.
Yes, sir. I'll do it. Thank y'all for having me on. I want to shout out to my sponsors real quick.
Yes,
if you don't
please
mind.
do.
I want to
Yes.
thank my parents with Champion Automotive, Stephen Dunn with Graphic Solution, GSX Wraps, Rob with RPM Group, Tim with Slinger Speed Prints, Bill Steen, David West, all the guys on the team, my parents, Cessna, BJ, Curtis, Johnny. If I'm forgetting somebody, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get in the swing of things again, but just everybody that helped on this deal, man, they're a real big help, and I have a lot of silent partners too that have helped a lot, and I want them to know they're very appreciated. And we'll head to South Boston next and see if I can pick up 2 checker flags, and who knows, we might change the schedule. We'll see.
Thank you again, Bobby. Y'all take care, man.
Yeah, man.
See ya.
Thank you, y'all too.
All right. That's good talk. I mean, you don't want to piss off Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick and them, but you know, there's some good points being made right there, Messer. I mean, and it is getting
right.
out of control.
Yeah, he's right.
It
I mean,
is.
when we deal with sponsor proposals every day, seeing these numbers will make your eyes water. You know, just trying to get to the track in the first place.
If I was to write a proposal for Sydney Sanders for a primary sponsorship on her stadium stock at Bowman Gray Stadium, I wouldn't write it for under $20,000 for the year, and that's you probably need 30.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, you tally up what it costs you, pit passes, food. There's no hotels, of course, but just traveling from where you live at exit 100 or wherever it's at, and driving, and you add it up for 17 weeks, and you're going to be close to $30,000. Okay, is Paityn on?
She is, yes.
Let's just go straight to her. Bless her heart. She's had to wait. Those Sugar Bear had to wait. Look, there she is. Hey, girl.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
This is, for those of y'all tuning in, this is Paityn. How do you say your last name? Because I'm scared I'll butcher it.
Fan.
Oh,
Fan.
I would have said
It,
Feyen or something like that.
yeah, I get like Feyen all the time, but it's like Fan, but
Fan,
just a
okay.
little bit of more unique spelling.
See, that's how you cover your own butt. As an announcer, if I have a driver's list and when I'm calling a race, I will go to them and say, dude or dudette, how do you say this
Yeah.
name? So that's why I asked. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's Paityn Mary Jane. So there you go. How about that, Sydney? So I want to introduce you to my co-host. This is
Hello,
Sydney
hello.
Sanders. Sydney races at Bowman Gray Stadium. She races in the stadium stock division. So, and I want to tell y'all, for those of y'all listening, that I was on the front stretch, was having the meet and greet on the front stretch like they do at New River All American Speedway. And I've seen this young lady, and Sydney, you know how I'm about kids and female drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're a 5-year-old female driver or 105, I want to give them the credit that they deserve. And when I interviewed her, I immediately said, and I want you on my podcast because of the way she spoke and what have you. So I know you didn't have the results you had the other night that you
Yeah.
wanted to have, but things did get a little crazy out there, didn't they, Paityn?
Yeah, they were pretty wild. Like we had originally like 10 caution laps before we even got our green flag. And then we started to finally race, and then it was just seemed like caution after caution. And on one of the restarts that led to the red flag, like I'm checking my mirrors, like I wasn't able to get down to the bottom like I would have hoped to. So I was just gonna try and run that outside, and I see these two kids on the bottom kind of get sideways, and so I'm watching out. I'm like, stuff's gonna go down right there, and then I see this kid kind of like fly at me diagonally and just hit the wall, and then I'm trying to avoid that, but my teammate comes flying through the middle. So it's like you just kind of got to stay aware. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of cautions and stop it on the track and stuff. So I think I would have had some better results if we were able to just continue to race, because some of the restarts were looking better for me. But yeah, the end of the race wasn't ideal, but I mean, it's only my third Legends race, so we're doing what we can.
Which and you don't have nothing, and so y'all was not scheduled to race when you raced, and you know that. So
Yeah.
I do want to shout out to Levon, the race director, because I was up in the tower some, and the Cars Tour people was really adamant about time restraints. You know, this has to happen here. This race has to be like that. And I'm like, in my head, well, there's 20 legend cars out here, y'all. There's going to be, we know how this goes. Okay. It's part of the product.
Yeah.
So that was the reason they moved. But I do want to ask, because I do not know, okay, why did y'all run so many caution laps before? Did you ever hear before that green? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I walked to my car, charged my phone up a little bit, and then I walked back.
Got you a cheeseburger.
Got a cheeseburger, and I went out there. I was kept looking for
Took a
you,
nap.
you know. Yeah, took a shower and all that. What did you ever hear? What was going on with that?
Yeah, so the reason we had to do so many caution laps was because they were having problems with the computer. So, like, they weren't getting times or anything like that. So, they were trying to fix that before we started racing, but it just never got fixed. And they're like, well, it's been 10 laps. So,
Yeah.
then we just started racing. But the flow racing was down, and so is Race Monitor. So,
Yeah.
they were just having technical difficulties.
Yeah, and that's nobody's fault. That's just that goes with that's part of dealing with technology, and that's what I kind of thought, because my race monitor wasn't doing what I needed it to do for me to be able to do what I do. I want to do this real quick. I see you got this shirt, so you have done it. I guess you've got a multi-year agreement with Nitro Motorsports, which is really pretty much trying to lay the groundwork, if I may, Paityn, for your future.
Yeah.
How do you like it so far? And tell everybody your background, where you come from, where you go-kart racing and all. Just give a little background on your racing career. I think, was it 10 when you started?
I started at 13 actually.
Yeah.
So I started pretty late in the game. We went to a Daytona 500 race when I was in 4th grade, so I was about 10, and I kind of fell in love with racing there. And then I come from cheer and dance, so I told my parents I wanted to be a race car driver, and they just looked at me like I was crazy. But then we started karting in Colorado, and my coach mechanic that we were working with out here had known about like some racing in Arizona that was a little more competitive, and we can't race here in the winters because of the snow and all that. So we started going to Phoenix and doing races out there, met another team and they helped us grow. And we met my current mechanic and coach for karting because he has his own team now. But so we did that and I helped coach. Like I'm actually going to go help him coach in California this weekend and do some karting stuff. But so I did karting for about 2-3 years and got in a car for the first time in, I want to say, November. And we started in the Legend at Caraway Speedway. And then we signed with Nitro for the 2 years. And so that will take me through Legends. And then we're going to do the Toyota GR86 Cup Series this
Okay,
year.
let me stop you right there. So I had to call Tristan McKee's dad to learn about that actually, because I want to understand it. So tell everybody what a Toyota GR Cup is, if you would, please, Paityn.
So it's kind of like a sports car. I feel like it's like the level below TA2, I
Right.
would say.
Yes.
And so it's all road course stuff, so a little bit different from the Legends, but yeah, so we got that going on, and that's about 6 to 8 races, I think. Yeah, but
So at the end of the day, you could go Legends, Toyota GR Cup, late models, Trans Am, because you can go from this Toyota GR Cup to a TA2 car.
yeah.
And as you progress, because kind of looking into all this today, making notes and what have you for the show, that if you look at a cup schedule, Sydney, there's a lot of road courses now.
Yes.
All right. We had one this last weekend, which we're going to talk about as we end the show tonight. But I think it's really good. A lot of these kids, I'm going to keep using Tristan McKee. I'm going to use him as an example again because I'm so close to him and his family and his team, is that it's really improved his driving skills on a round track, being able to race these road courses. And the thing is you got your team, the Nitro Motorsports people, you've got Chevy, you've got Josh Wise, you've got all these people involved with this. So, and it to me, I think that with like yourself being involved with someone like Nitro Motorsports, it's a good deal for you. I also believe, because I've been around this a long time, is that there's no better way to teach a young guy or girl how to really learn the ropes of racing in a legend car. So I always said the legend car, no, it's not known for a lot of horsepower, but it's too much horsepower for the size of tire, is the way I've always said it. And they're not easy to drive. So, and I paid attention to you after I watched, interviewed you and met you. I watched you, and it looked like your car controls there, and you're aware of your surroundings. So the result isn't what you'd like, but if I was you, girl, I'd hold that head high. You did really well. I was impressed.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the Legends are definitely a lot trickier to drive, and I think that's why a lot of these kids getting into cars are starting in them because they're so much different from anything else I think you would drive. And like I've been doing some of the Toyota testing and getting into that compared to the Legends. Like I'm going a little quicker and like I'm on a road course in the Toyota, but the Legends makes my car control so much better
Yep.
because like you to be able to drive the Legend, you have to drive it where it's like so uncomfortable, and that's how you go fast. And like that's been a hard thing for me to learn because in the karting world you have to be smooth to be fast, and like you don't want the wheel spin and stuff like that.
Right. A name that stuck out to me, can't help but ask, has she helped you out any Amber Balkan that's been with Nitro as well. Has you talked to her and her be able to offer pointers and words of advice to you?
No, I have not been able to talk to Amber. She ran with Nitro for the Daytona 500 race, and I'm pretty sure that was like a one race type of deal. But I've not been able to talk to her. But like I did an event with Tony and with Jade. We're under Nitro together, so I've done a couple tests with her and stuff like that.
That she's going to be on after you.
Yeah.
and that's pretty. I've went a lot of people. I even had one of my buddies at Bowman Gray Stadium, Corey Latham, who is with Race 22, and he's never really. It's like she's all of a sudden out of the woodwork, and there's a lot of people that's really involved in racing hasn't really paid attention to her. Where I'm like, well, guess what? I have, because when Tristan raced Millbridge, I went to Millbridge a lot, and when I seen this girl driving, I'm like, whoa. I mean, and those micros are not easy to drive. I mean, they're especially at Millbridge, because you got about 642 of them on a small track, and it's just,
In a petri dish.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. It's like a bunch of ants when they get going. But anyway, I've followed her since then, and now y'all are racing under the same banner. And to me, you being 16 years old and her 18, y'all are both pretty close in age.
Yeah.
I could see you leaning on her somewhat, maybe to get words of wisdom from her as well.
Yeah, we've definitely had a lot of talks in the cool down room and the trailers at the test and stuff like that. But through Nitro, I'm basically following Jade's like footsteps that they're putting her through. So kind of what she's doing is like exactly what I'll be doing. And just the age gap makes it a little bit of like a run and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So where are you at right now?
So I'm in my house in Colorado.
Is it cold? Is it snowing?
No, but it is really windy. It was supposed to snow tomorrow, but that kind of went away. But it was super nice, and then we show up, and now it's just windy and cold. Like we have a high of like 40s, and I'm like, I kind of miss North Carolina, but
Yeah, I bet.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be real nice here tomorrow. We're going to have 4 tornadoes in Forsyth County.
Better not.
Every time they talk about, I'm from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, an hour and 15 minutes where all of my hometown is from New Orleans. And I went through Katrina. And when they say bad weather's coming, I like bad weather. I know that's weird, but I love it. And when they say bad weather's coming where I'm from, and when it comes, it comes. There's no mountains or anything like that. Here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's like every time they talk about bad weather, it's like the mountains, that Appalachian Wedge got it. And I'm like, dadgummit. But I don't think tomorrow it's getting it. It's going to be bad, Sydney.
I hope not. I'm going to be in the tornado position like they teach you in school.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The bathrooms and just stuck.
Go in the hallway with your hands over your head.
Paityn, do you go to school or homeschooled?
I'm online through my school in Colorado, actually.
Yeah.
So I've been doing their program for about 3 years on and off, because I would go back to in person because I like being around people. I'm social, and then
I could tell. Yes.
yeah. So I tried to do the public school thing, and I had like maybe 176 absences by December, and I was like, well, maybe this isn't for me. So I went online, and I still see all my friends when I come home. And so, yeah.
So
and all my friends are on track anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah. So are you like the cool chick amongst them, being a race car driver?
I mean, a little bit. Like, I tell my friends that I do racing, and or like just people I meet, and they're like, whoa, like I've never heard of that and stuff like that. But I mean, my best friend does cheer, so it's like 2 different worlds.
Yeah, they better open their eyes and ears, because women in motorsports is a big deal now, and it's getting even bigger. Well, I'm so glad I got to meet you first and foremost, and I do appreciate your time on the track. And I knew right then, I've already said it, that I want you on the show. I want you to continue to be on this show. I'd like to have you on more often, and I want to help try to push you. I told you this in our text, and you've got a big future ahead of you, and I want you to keep working hard. What these people at Nitro Motorsports tells you, listen, take everything in, girl. Just do what they say, because they're not going to steer you wrong. You know this, or you and your parents wouldn't have signed with them, okay? So, but that's the way I see it. But if you would, before we get off the air, would you have any sponsors, family, friends you want to thank?
Yeah. Well, I want to thank my parents first and foremost. That, like, I would not be doing any of this if it wasn't for them. But sponsorship wise and team wise, I want to thank Shift Up Now and Redline Trucking, Snaptron, Nitro Motorsports, of course, and Joe Ryan Race Cars, which is my Legends team. So
That Joe Ryan, he's got he's got like 138 legends.
I think I've seen
Yeah.
Killer Cam, I seen Killer Cam, y'all.
I've seen that.
I gave Killer Cam the microphone, y'all, and Ron Hornaday is right there. So I'm like, hey, Cam. You know, this was right after, I don't know if it was before I talked to you or after. Anyway, I gave Cam the microphone, and Ron Hornaday's right there. You know, Ron Hornaday's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, these younger kids might not understand it, but that's a big deal. I always called him Mr. Restart. Nobody could do a restart in Cup, Trucks, or Xfinity like him. So with all that being said, I'm like, you know what? Let's just show out. And I was like, Cam, how about I give you the microphone? Then Cam said, what is it you want me to say? I said, hell, I don't know, kid. Just do what you do. And I'm a jet flying, diamond ring wearing.
Did he bring you? Did he talk about bananas? Did he bring you any?
No, but we did talk about them.
The Brazilian bananas.
Yeah, me and Cam's been on here like 6 times, Paityn. He is if the people watch the show love him, and I do too. But yeah, Joe Ryan is a very good guy. He will be a big help to you as well. But once again, thank you so much. I want to keep in touch and have you on again, and wish you nothing but the best.
Forward to it. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
You're welcome. Take care and be safe, okay?
You too. Have a good night.
All right, bye. Peace.
Bye.
It's a good kid. You know it?
Very good kid.
Yep. She's got her head on straight. I don't know. It's weird to me how when you put a microphone and I don't know if I just try to inspect or gadget everyone. I'm serious. You know, I want to know about the way they talk. Sometimes I tell Tristan, you be nice to your fans, you know, because he's in a mode. You know, some people walk away from Tristan and might say, well, that kid,
he's got his nose up.
Him and Cale Gill are just alike. When Cale was young, Cale they had to send Cale to the Dale Carnegie School because he was so focused. Back then, when Cale was 15 years old and went to a full-bodied car, it's not like it is now. You know, this social media and talking and cameras everywhere, it's nothing like what it is in today's world. Like with Paityn, and I've said it to you, the listeners, and to you and Eric many times, that's the reason that I would like having these kids on, is because, you know, look at Tate. You know, 5 years from now, he's going to look back at his very first ever podcast deal, and that's going to be a big deal.
That's right.
Hope everybody's doing all right. We got another good special guest. This girl is definitely going places as well. Jade Avadisian. I've heard 5 different ways. I'm going to ask her how to say her name the
maybe
correct
you should
way.
ask how to say her
Well,
name.
Dale Jr. said it one way. Eric Brennan said it another way, so I'm going to let her.
And Chris Cartett said a third way.
No, I was trying to hit it between Eric Brennan and Dale Earnhardt Jr., so that way I was politically correct, which I don't like being. So, but anyway, y'all don't go nowhere. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to take a short break. We're coming to you live from the Choice Tire Automotive Studios. Talking Circles with Chris Carter is presented by J&T Services. Stay there. Don't go nowhere. We got a really good one coming up next.
Ever Ready Mix Concrete has been in business for 40 years, and they can handle any and all of your concrete needs, whether big or small. They can do it all. Located at 2000 Old Highway 421 East in Yadkinville, North Carolina. Ever Ready Mix Concrete, they're family owned and operated, and for a free quote, give David Adams a call at 336-961-6688. At H&H Auto Repair, no job is too big or too small. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, they can do it all. From oil changes to engine swaps to North Carolina inspections, H&H Auto Repair is your one-stop auto shop. Located at 3088 Kernersville Road in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, right next to Tickle Pink Convenience Store. Stop by and see Daniel and Philip Harrison and tell them OCC sent you. That's H&H Auto Repair, 3088 Kernersville Road in Winston-Salem.
People can trust me to detail their vehicles because I've been doing it for years. I've worked on stuff from $1,000 all the way up to $100,000, but at the end of the day, you still gotta live up to the same standard. I put love and care into every vehicle. I just want to make sure my customer's happy because I like getting everything. I mean, every crack, every cranny, anything I can get. I really just want it to be squeaky clean. I know how I want my ride to look like at the end of the day, and I should do the same thing to yours.
Hey, my name is Gavin Robbins. Welcome to Robbins Sandblasting.
Hey, I'm Michael Robbins. I'm a third-generation sandblaster. Alongside of my parents, Eddie and Shirley Robbins, we are Robbins Sandblasting. In December of 1954, my grandpa, Buddy Robbins, started Robbins Sandblasting. Over the past 65 years, there have been many of cars driven in this driveway. Some have come and gone, others have become friends, but many have become family. With the fourth generation standing here, it's our job to teach them how the rust meets the dust. So from our family to yours, thank you for 65 years.
Welcome back, Talking Circles with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services. We are live from the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios in good old Kernersville, North Carolina, where we're going to have 4 tornadoes tomorrow, and I'm excited.
Quit saying that. I don't think you understand how scared of storms I was growing up.
That's why I hope we get some lightning and good weather. It's going to be windy. I do know that. Okay, coming up next, I'm really excited about this guest being on. We probably might never get it. She's going to be all big and famous and don't have time for the little folks. Not have time for the little folks before long, but I do want to welcome to the show Miss Jade.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how about you? Thanks for having me on tonight.
Hey, thanks for being on. So, Jade, before we even get going, say your last name for me.
Avadisian.
Avadisian. See, I was very close.
That's not what
it's
you said.
It's definitely not the easiest for the announcers.
Yeah, well, I heard Dale Jr. say it, and then I heard Eric Brennan say it, and I was trying to make a pick, and then I was like, I know you're busy, and I was going to call you and just get you so we could do that, but I said, what the heck, Avadisian. So that's about how, I did say it like that, Sydney.
No. But, I mean, if you look at it, you're like, oh, well, that's easy, because you just sound it out. Avadisian. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely not the hardest, but A for effort.
Yeah, we're just going to
go
say
with that.
Jade A. Jade A. So what I was telling Paityn, Paityn was on right before you, and her name was kind of,
we would have never guessed.
It's spelled Feyen, and it's pronounced Fan. And I was like, Paityn, I'd have never in a million years I'd have said Feyen. Mm-hmm. So I had to ask her too. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So anyway, I was telling her and our listeners that I had somebody the other day on Facebook. It's like, man, who is this girl? Who is this Jade chick? Look at this. Da, 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 da. So I proudly say, I watched you last year at Millbridge, and you definitely turned my head. I was there with Tristan McKee, of course, but I pay attention to what I see, and this show does feature kids and women as much as you see my co-host here. This is Sydney. She races at Bowman Gray, and I recommend not coming there either. But I'm just picking. You'd love it. The amount what you do in a race car is nothing short of amazing, and you know what the car does and what it needs. And your transition from dirt to asphalt, I guess, is where I'm going with this, Jade. How has that went for you? Obviously, really good, but as a driver, was it a hard transition from the dirt to the asphalt, or was it as easy or as you expected, or what?
It's honestly both. Like, I feel like some instances it's kind of came, easy, and some instances it's hard. Like, I feel like I've been putting so much like, work towards like my craft on the dirt side the last few years, and strictly just all my focus kind of on the dirt side. But obviously, now it has changed, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. But it's just kind of switching everything over. I obviously have a lot to learn, and I have a lot of races, to learn on or like from this year, so that's definitely good. But like right now, I just try to prioritize my week like as best I can, and just meet as many people that I can have in my circle that I trust for advice or anything, like just to make sure I'm as prepared as I can be going to the racetrack. And then obviously when I get to the racetrack and get on the racetrack and feel things for myself. I feel like it kind of comes a lot easier than talking about it. But yeah, it's definitely been hard in some instances just because I've been just focusing on my craft on the dirt side of the last few years.
For those of y'all tuning in, this young lady, she's 18 years old, and she is now, in the 11-year history of the Cars Tour, the first female winner. And I'm not, there's not an asterisk beside your name. 10 years from now, when you look back at this first win at New River All American Speedway in the ZMAX Cars Tour, there's not going to be an asterisk that says, all it says is W, okay? And I've listened and watched you after this win, and a win's a win's a win. That's your attitude that I get, and I like it a lot because let me do that. But Sydney, like when you win at Bowman Gray Stadium, when that day comes, if 5 people broke down in front of you, it don't matter. You took the checkered flag. You got the win. I'm proud of you for that, and I admire that a whole lot because at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of them coming. And you had a hot rod, and every time you get close to Tristan, I'd be like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. You have, I want the listeners to know that she's one of 2 women who qualified in the feature for the prestigious Chili Bowl Nationals. Also the first woman to have won a National Midgets Championship in the Extreme Outlaw Tour in 2023. She has won the pro late model portion of the Fall Brawl at Hickory Motor Speedway. She is a former Tulsa shootout winner in the restricted A main class, a distinction she shares as a female now alongside Kaylee Bryson and Hayden Hansen. Driving now you're with Toyota Gazoo Racing and Wilson Motorsports. Is that the best way to say that?
Yes, it is. Yep. So I had signed with TRD right after I had won the championship in November 2023, and obviously had signed a pretty big deal, for myself at that age. And, obviously it kind of opened the door, for this year for me to be on, part of the Wilson team on the pro late model side. And, yeah, like I speak so highly of everyone at COD, and, I feel like they're, my circle that I can, put my trust into it, whether it's during the week or whether it's, time to go racing on the weekend. I just have a lot of trust in them, and a lot of belief in them, and I think they believe in me as well. So yeah, I'm super grateful to be on their development side. But at the end of the day, I just need to keep doing well and winning races, and then just kind of go from there.
Wilson, this is Donnie Wilson, right?
Yes, it is.
Have you know him?
Yeah, so I had met him probably sometime last year, and then he was out in New Smyrna for the Speed Week. So he's a great guy. I think it's like really cool for a team owner to be kind of involved. Like when I was down in New Smyrna for Speed Week, he was kind of like coaching me and just cracking jokes and just being a very down to earth person. So I think it's like I said, I think it's very cool for a team owner to be involved and know what's going on, the ins and outs within this team every week.
So with that being said, everything I've learned, first race to announce, first PR job for Kel Gale that I ever done, First race I've ever flagged. First race I cleaned the toilets at. It's at Mobile Speedway. I've called many races with Donnie Wilson. I have went to Victory Lane and interviewed Donnie Wilson many times. The only problem with Donnie Wilson is him being an Oklahoma Sooner fan. But if you happen to say, Donnie, I was on Chris Carter's show, don't listen to nothing he said because he's going to tell you I'm crazier than a bat eating owl crap. But it's anyway. But anyway, that is very cool. You're involved with Donnie. Donnie is such a great guy, and his organization, what he's got going on, is nothing short of amazing. And I'm really proud to see where he's at. And I don't know if you really know this, but you probably do. But Jade, the dude, is one heck of a wheel man. I always watch that number 2, that red number 2 at Mobile when we had those super races. And anytime Donnie Wilson came in through the door, he's a threat to win. You bet. Him and Bubba Pollard, I mean, it was just, those were the good old days. But anyway,
yeah, for sure. Like, I need to go back and watch all the races he used to race, but
yes,
like him talking and like the people kind of around him, like I've heard that he was really good. So I hope he kind of makes a return, just so I could see it now. But yeah, what I've heard, he was a pretty good race car driver.
give him about 10 laps, let him dust that rust off, and he'll be just fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Jade, last year, following an impressive runner-up finish in the USAC BC 39 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that's when you announced you're going to be focusing on pavement. But there was an injury involved, and I didn't really, in my studying and trying to just get some good stuff for tonight, I didn't. What happened that caused an injury? Can you share that with us, please?
Yeah, so even like the start of the year, I've never, been hurt. I've never had to deal with injuries, but the start of 2024, I had gotten a concussion back in April in the midget, and I was out for probably 6 or 7 weeks, and then over the summer, I was healed, back in the race car, and then come September, which, it's very weird. Like, a lot of the fans don't understand because I didn't flip. Like, I obviously finished second and, had a good race. But I just, I woke up the next day and I didn't really feel myself. And even after the race, I, knew I didn't feel, the best. But I went to sleep and, Monday came around and I had a few meetings I had to do. And I just, did not feel normal. So I had called some of my doctors that I had dealt with back in April, and I went down to Milwaukee, and they kind of said that I, have a nerve issue, from my neck to my head that kind of just will heal over time. So, yeah, like I said, it's very interesting because I know I didn't flip, and I know I didn't even, crash out or anything. So. It was definitely not what I was expecting after the races, and that kind of killed the whole rest of the season for the dirt side. But now, like, I feel like that was kind of my best decision to sit out Chili Bowl and sit out the West Coast. One, I don't think I would have been 100%, and two, like, I need to shift my focus and just be 100% and just shift my focus to full pavement right now. And like, it was tough. Like, I obviously have a lot of passion and love for dirt racing, but right now, like I said, my focus has shifted, and my focus is on just wanting to be the best right now, and working on my craft on the pavement side. And but yeah, that's basically it. And I will say though, I want to be back on the off season on the dirt side, so I wouldn't be surprised if I run Chili Bowl and stuff like that. Hopefully.
When everybody's watching the show that knows me, suffered a brain injury, and it's really weird how the brain, it's like you break your arm, you put a cast on it, and I was in a coma, a traumatic brain injury. So when you're in a coma, that's pretty serious. And I get anything up here, it's really weird. People that's never had the TBI or any kind of brain injury, concussion, or anything like that, it's hard to explain. I still fumble a lot. I still stutter a lot. My words get crossed up. But Steve Post always told me, just keep digging, just keep going, and act like nothing's ever happened. And that's what I do. One thing that I want to say real quick, is I noticed at Millbridge, you was one of the few drivers that when you raced, you was right back in the stands watching everything that was going on. And I think that's what seeing you, I was like, who is she? You know, and then everybody told me, and then I would, you know, okay, well, there's her car. I'd watch you, you'd race, and then you'd come back. And to me, you know, I'm not a driver coach or anything, but what I see is this is a young lady that wants to see how the cars are reacting, what they're doing, how that her competition is racing. So, in a nutshell, if I so what made you start watching Jade? It was that is your interest into what else was going on. Not 90% of them drivers do not do what you would do. Now, Wyatt would because his mama's there, you know, and he'd hang up. But it was very impressive to me how you done that. And I feel like these steps that you've taken and the circle that you talk about that you have, I think you realize what the future holds for you. And your fan base is, you know, I showed you the numbers from just that post I made on the new River All American. And then I got to thinking, well, that's probably nothing to her. You know, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's this is a big deal. I would think for you to realize how well. I mean, let's see, Dale Jr., Riley Gaines. She said the invocation at the Cup race at Coda. Kenny Wallace. I mean, all these people are talking about you, and that's you're turning heads, and that's a big deal, Jade.
Yeah, thank you. Like, you know, I have social media now, and you know, for a while, I kind of wasn't on it. Just kind of focusing on, you know, what I need to be, but I'm back on it a little bit now, and like it's cool. Like I look at all my comments, you know, whether they're good or bad, and you know, the bad ones, you know, make me want to do better and motivate me, and
Yes.
the good ones, it's cool to read through all them, and like the people you said, like for them to, you know, be thinking about me and shouting me out on, you know, social media is, you know, great for me, and like deep down I think that's, you know, so special. But yeah, like really, like I think it's cool, obviously. Like I feel like that helps me in the long run for sure, and I think I have, you know, the best fans, the best dirt fans, and the ones that kind of have trickled over to asphalt, you know, kind of following me is cool. But at the end of the day, like I try to, you know, I've always been told, like, just kind of shut the noise, and just focus on, you know, what I need to be doing. And, you know, whether you're doing good or bad, like, there's always going to be, you know, people talking about you. So, I feel like I've just been trying to just focus on what I'm doing, focus on, you know, being the best I can on and off the racetrack right now.
Years ago, Jade, years ago, I was hired as a general manager and a promoter at Montgomery Motor Speedway, okay? And I don't know, it was like my second, third race there. And it was practice, it was race day. And these fools was acting like fools, you hear me? It didn't even make sense. Yellow would come out during practice, they'd keep going. I'm like, well, you know, and I radioed, I told that flame, I said, throw a red flag out. And I told the announcer, I said, I want every driver at this racetrack to the tech barn right now. We call them tech barns there. I want everybody there. And Jade, I just kind of made my spill about it. You know, I'm not here to save the day, but I'm here to make sure everybody. I had Ricky Brooks as my tech guy. He came with me. And I told him, I said, here's the problem with half of y'all, though, is next weekend I'm going to stand at pit gate and I'm going to start handing out $100 bills, but the 10th one in is going to complain, moan, and whine because yours ain't in 20s. And that's something I want you to remember is because no matter what, Dale Jr. has haters, Kenny Wallace has haters. You're going to see, like I said, if we could say it's a beautiful day outside and there's going to be some jackleg over there that's going, that ain't beautiful. That sun's ugly. You know, it's always been that you're 18 years old and you're very wise and beyond your years, in my opinion. Like I've been around this a long time. And that's another impressive thing about you. And that social media, it can be the devil. Don't forget that. This thing right here, this phone, I call it the devil box. So, but it seems like you got the right attitude. A lot of stuff I don't read because I know I got a mouth that pisses people off. So, I mean, that's just, I call it like I see it. But, yeah, you're definitely going places. And for those, once again, she's raced USAC, Extreme Outlaws, the GR Cup, which we talked about earlier with Paityn. And like I said, she turned my head with those micros at Millbridge. Did you like the micros?
Yeah, Millbridge. Yeah, it's fun. Like, I grew up kind of running micros, and it's cool to kind of go back, you know, once in a while at Millbridge, and you know, I enjoy Millbridge. It's obviously close to where I live in Mooresville, and it's easy, you know, just to go out there on Wednesday nights, and you know, I just enjoy it. Like like I said earlier, like I still have a lot of love and passion into dirt racing, so I hope I get to kind of go out there, a few Wednesdays out of the year. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed, and I definitely love watching it as well.
Somebody watching, I'd have it where people can comment. Probably it ain't been that bad. But anyway, Jade is the real deal. She's going places for sure. She has gained another fan for sure. Good luck this year, Jade. And that's from our buddy Blake Morgan.
Thank you, Blake.
Yeah, and now you're going to have all these Bowman Gray people cheering for you, and then they're going to say, Chris, go get Jade to come run Bowman Gray. And then I'm going to say, Sydney, can Jade drive your stadium stock? And then Sydney will say, yeah. Then we'll have Jade on a practice day making laps around a football field, and then she'll look up there on race night and see 17,000 people, and she's like, this is cool. And it is really cool. Well, I have the best announcing job ever on the planet, announcing at Bowman Gray. And tell her what it's like in front of 17,000 fans that are flipping you off or waving to you. Talking about people hating and loving you. There's no gray area at Bowman Gray, is it, Sydney?
No, and there's no really way to explain it. It's just, I don't know. Like, I just pull out on the track and I'm just cheesing.
So can I tell her about the first race?
I don't care. You tell everybody, so might as well.
Jade, so Sydney, her father-in-law probably has the most mini stock, stadium stock wins in the country. Seriously, AJ Sanders, multiple time. He won the NASCAR Division 4 championship this year. Very good. Her husband, Steven Sanders, is well known for being a wheelman as well. So Sydney comes along and Sydney's racing. So I'm up in the announcer booth. There's two of us, me and Randy Pulliam. And Sydney's out there on the bottom. And I'm like, told Pulliam, I said, what is she doing? And Randy's like, I don't know. It's like she was in a Mardi Gras parade or something. She was just kind of easy. First race, I get it. And
it was just supposed to be for fun.
So then, Jade, I see people in the stands are like, I didn't say y'all get up and make noise or anything, but I see them all waving. So I'm watching Sydney like this, and coming out of turn 4, by gosh, she's waving at everybody, doing about 30 mile an hour around under green, and everybody's waving at her. So I'm like, well, everybody, y'all look at Sydney. She acts like she's in a parade.
You, that's because there's no, I didn't know it was like that. It felt like a parade at first. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, I know it did.
That's funny.
And I called on, and I was like, race fans, and y'all see her right there heading to turn number 1. Y'all give our buddy Sydney a big old wave, and then you have the whole, everybody's waving as she comes by. Funny moment, and I'll never forget it. Now she's my co-host, so yeah,
that is funny. I went over there last summer at some point just to watch, I think it was maybe just a local show, and it's really cool. I always enjoy when there's a lot of fans, and that's the most, or those are the most personality fans I've ever seen. I think it's so funny.
So you did go?
Yeah, I did go over the summer last year.
So you did hear me announce there. Gosh, why wish I'd have known you was there.
Yeah, it was very last minute. I think I had an off weekend maybe, and some of my friends were like, "Oh, we're just gonna go." So I went with them and just kind of got to see what it was like.
Definitely an experience, isn't it? Well, the Cup guys liked it. The Cup guys liked it a lot, and I even with media access talked to a lot of the Cup guys, and I asked them. I said, I want y'all to compare what you're doing this weekend to last year at California, and it was lights out. No even comparison for the drivers.
Yes. For sure.
Hold on, one more before I let you go. Let's see what this person says. Dustin Marshall, he's barred from being on the show.
I thought his number's blocked.
Jade really had people on their feet. On their feet, Dustin. Where are you from, Jade really had people on their feet with a apostrophe S, last Saturday running Tristan down. Yeah, she's about the only one I don't have a problem with running Tristan down. I'm just going to call it like it is. I was like, there's part of me is like, if Jade wins, I'm okay with it. I've been around Jade for I'm working on 5 years now, when he was 3'9". And I do want to say this before I let you go. This is another thing. There's so much impressive about you. It was me and Carson Lofton, TJ DeCare, Mason Maggio. There were several of us on the wall, and you just walk up there and introduce yourself to Tristan. Hey, I'm Jade.
And
very observant. And I said to myself, that's what it's about right there. Hey, I might not know you, but you're going to know me. Yep. Okay. And that's what I liked. I was right there. I don't know if you realize or not, but I was right there when you done that. And that was reason number 6,482 to just love Jade. So very impressed with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I've always obviously kind of watched even just late models in general, the past maybe year, obviously pretty heavy over the off season, and I feel like, looking at the pro stuff last year, Tristan was always up there. So, yeah, it was like kind of perfect opportunity for me to meet him. Obviously, I'm going to race him a lot this year. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to, just racing with him and racing with, everyone else. I want to race against obviously really good people right now, just to see what I need to work on and just keep developing myself. But yeah, I did meet him on Saturday.
I was right there. Well, Jade, thank you so much. I hope we can do this again. It's you got a lot of fans. I'm a fan. I'm not embarrassed. I am a big
Appreciate
fan.
it.
So I'd like to
Thank
have
you.
you on again in a couple months or so. I'll be seeing you up until we start racing at the stadium April 19th. So I'll see you at Cordele.
Okay, sounds good.
Have you ever met Ricky Brooks?
I don't think so.
He was the tech man at the Snowball Derby, and he is the, like I said, I got him to come to Montgomery with me. Used to have the Room of Doom at the Snowball Derby. Let's see, he DQ'd Chase Elliott for Tungsten. He got Stephen Wallace for traction control. I could sit here. He's just the thing. He's run such a tight ship in this track. You're going to be very impressed with this track. Don't have a wall either. I guess you know that, right?
Yep, I've seen it. That's good though.
Oh, if you say so. All right, Jade. Is
No,
anybody?
I'm saying about the tech guy. I think that's good.
Well, and Mr. Robert, with TJ, all that, that was, that's teeter-tottering on the edge, but right's right and wrong is wrong. If I'm doing 56 mile an hour and I get a ticket and I go in front of that judge and that judge says, Chris Carter, was you speeding at 56 and the speed limit's 55? Guess what? Yes, sir, I was. So there's that. So anyway, you got anybody you want to thank before we say bye?
Just everyone at TRD and Toyota for obviously giving me the opportunity and Mobile One, Sparkle at Rye, Buzz Bikes, Peels. Go get your Peels at whoever's watching this at the grocery store. They're the best oranges. But just everyone, all my fans, all my supporters, everyone on social media. Thank you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this year and just looking forward to getting better each weekend and hopefully, hit my prime here in a little bit.
All right, so now we're officially friends. I expect some high fives and a hug next time I see you. I'm a fan. I'll say it again. Thank you so much for being on, Jade, and I wish you nothing but the best. Be safe.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on.
See ya. Remember the name. Remember her. Beautiful, smart, you know what I say? God-given talent, taught talent, no talent, you suck. She's got God-given talent. And so does Paityn that was on before her. So does Bobby McCarty. I try not to have those you suck, no talent drivers on here.
I was about to
The
say,
peanut
are you ever going to tell them, no, you suck, no talent?
Yes, I will. You know I will. Look, the peanut gallery's here at 10 till before we go off the air. The peanut gallery.
You breathed a lot in the last second because it went up 2 degrees.
Now it's 97 in here, Messer. It is 97 degrees here at the Choice Tire Automotive Studios, and Daniel Harrison, the president of the Peanut Gallery, has joined us of H&H Autos, so we appreciate that. I don't know. He used to watch all the time. But I'm going to tell you this, Messer. He did some chicken in the smoker. When I come back from New River, I went straight to his house to eat. Real Sunday tradition there. The dude can cook pretty good.
That sounds good.
I put a turkey breast on the smoker on Sunday. Turned out pretty good.
I live a half a mile down the dadgum road.
I just want the skin. I don't really like the meat.
It was a turkey. It was a small little turkey breast enough for me and my mom.
Oh, not like a 15-pound gobble gobble Thanksgiving turkey.
No, it was just a turkey breast. But next time I'll get 2.
Yes, please do.
You can have a whole one.
Daniel Cook said, look, Daniel knows that he brought leftovers. I was at the car lot yesterday, and Daniel will drive through. You know how it does, Messer, like the bank, and Daniel will drive through, and we'll chit-chat, and he was driving on. I said, did you bring the chicken? Yeah. 30 minutes later, guess where Chris Carter was? I walked right over there and got some chicken.
I was driving by there the other day, and there was a beautiful blue, like, square body Ford pulling into their garage.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was beautiful. I fell in love with it.
You want to buy it?
If I had the money, yeah.
They do a good job there at H&H Auto Repair, no doubt about it. Dustin Marshall, you know I was messing with you, man. The feet. The feet. I got my feet wet. Watching Carson come from the back to finish 4th was fun to watch. Yes, thank you for saying that. Carson Lofton had a very good run. as well. I'm telling y'all, these cars toured, and
Lots
they're
of
toward
talent.
yes, but and also though what Bobby McCarty says, you just get scared that he's gonna. Anyway, I hope it just continues. All right, so we're gonna just go right into some Cup stuff real quick. They had COTA at Austin, Texas this last weekend, and where are my notes about that? Here they are, right here. So,
Excuse me. Sorry.
Ross Chastain pissed Chase Elliott off. Barrett Messer, comments on that?
Just short track racing. No, that move was way too early in my opinion, but
not on purpose.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't on purpose. Just too early.
Bonehead
to do all that, and I was really hoping Chase would get him back, but he never did. I think Ross pulled over for him right as he got to him. So
did you listen to the radio chatter with Chase Elliott's radio? The team was really pissed off.
Yeah,
and Chase was like, "I want to know for sure." He's just so wants to make sure that everything is right. Kyle Busch, Sydney. Kyle Busch led a race high 42 laps. I just knew he was gonna win. Now everybody says, "Oh, you're burning stuff up." Okay, well, Mike Joy, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, they can sit in that, and that's what they're supposed to do. Give you a scenario, the fan, me, the fan, give scenarios. Okay, that's what they're supposed to do. But me, I'm thinking, okay, that makes sense. But it's Kyle Busch. Okay, you don't know what he's doing. If he's saving tires or if he's just laughing at Christopher Bell behind him. He said contact, not on purpose. They raced very good, hard racing there at the end between them.
Right.
Contact messed the car up somewhat compared to what it was prior to said contact. Your thoughts?
If you were listening, Kevin was like something about he's going to give him the horn, and Clint said he better watch out because the bull will give the horn back.
I do remember that.
And I think it was just good hard racing. I hated to see Kyle Busch lose, but that's just my opinion.
Kyle Busch now at a racetrack, even in Atlanta, me being there in person, when they say even at the stadium, he did get it wasn't that bad there. It's like Denny Hamlin, and when I say this, I'm a Bubba Wallace fan, so don't even come at me with all that. The dude is super nice every time I see him. I like him, but he gets booed every time they say his name, and so does Denny. That used to be Kyle Busch a while back. Now they are cheering for Kyle Busch, and he's calmed down somewhat. Now his radio rant last week was the old Kyle Busch messer.
It might have been just a Toyota thing. That's the thing. I say a lot of these legacy fans, they're not big fans of Toyota, and as soon as somebody moves from a Toyota to a Chevy or a Toyota to a Ford or something, they instantly gain a ton of fans.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He won the Xfinity race on Saturday. Connor Zilich, he was involved in an early lap 5 incident. Then he went to the very back, and when I said the very back, 37, however many cars there were, he was the very last car. He gets repairs somewhat, then he comes back. He was running 13th. Then he slams, not on his purpose, not by his doing, on purpose. Daniel Suarez is involved in an incident, and he slams into his own teammate, and his day is done. Connor Zilich is a name. I'm going to tell y'all this. You better. Him and Rajah Caruth was Tristan McKee's teammate for Team Chevy at Millbridge. Got to meet him, hang out with him. He was on the pit box at Martinsville, I believe it was, at Bubba Pollard's Xfinity race last year. Good kid. I'm about that. Good kid, speaks well, smart, knows how to drive a race car. He's going to go places. Connor Zilich, God-given talent. Remember his name. He is an ace on a road course, and I'm not saying Connor Zilich was going to come back and win that race, y'all, when this deal happened with him and Daniel Suarez. But I will say I feel like that he could have contended for the win. Is it safe for me to say that, Eric Messer?
Yeah, absolutely. I was really hoping to see a battle between him and Shane Van Gisbergen, the two road course ringers.
The shoe.
I would have loved to seen a strong battle between them, but unfortunately, it just didn't play out.
I'm a big Carson Hocevar fan. He finished 13th. I called that a respectable 13th. He's sitting 15th in the Cup standings. Him, like Kyle Busch, will win a race sooner rather than later, whether you like it or not. A lot of people's mad at him the way he raced, but once again, 17 years ago, Kyle Busch was the same way, and I can name a lot of others. Even Ross Chastain, he was when he come, he was like a bull in china cabinet himself. Still can be, but I love him too as well. Phoenix next weekend. I believe we're going to hear a lot about Joey Logano for the Phoenix race. Also, reason being, Sydney, how many wins right there?
4.
4 wins for Logano at Phoenix. It's getting about that time where we start hearing about Joey Logano.
I like Joey.
Is there something in my throat?
A frog.
A cricket just jumped in my throat. Here at the Choice Tire Automotive Studios live in Kernersville, North Carolina. Real quick before we leave, so it's getting about that time you start hearing about Joey Logano. It's third, fourth, fifth race when he starts winning. He has 4 wins at Phoenix. Christopher Bell has one there as well. Could Christopher Bell win 3 in a row? You dadgum Skippy, he can. So do not think that he is not able to do that.
I'm sticking with my prediction. It's gonna be a Byron and Bell kind of year. They're gonna be switching back and forth
I
all year
hope
long.
not.
He's right. I ain't gonna argue with it.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the Logano every once in a while. Chase is going to win one. Hocevar will win one just to kind of mix things up. But I believe you, those 2 will be in the Final Four this year. So, yeah, Christopher Bell could possibly win 3 in a row at Phoenix. Ross Chastain, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch has also won there. And with speaking of Kyle Busch, he's won there twice. So, look, the other peanut gallery.
Yeah, I see Ronnie Clifton. Hey, Ronnie.
Where?
Hey, Ronald.
Yeah,
Why don't I see it?
He said, hey, y'all.
Hey.
Well, I don't see it. Hey, Ronnie, I love you. I love you a lot. So, Daniel, the Peanut Gallery president is back, and his assistant president / security, Worm, is there, and he said all the Penske cars are good there. Well, I don't have, what's his name? Ryan Blaney winning there. I dang sure ain't got Austin Cindric Worm. So once again, there you go with that horse crap.
Austin Cindric just put out his throwback scheme for Darlington. It looked pretty cool.
He's been fast. He's got good speed this year, man. He's not a bad driver. He just looks like he should be in a library teaching 8th graders.
All those Penske
You're
guys.
judging a book by its cover.
Yeah, all the Penske guys are just really going to super speedways, and he got 2 of those to open up the year.
Yeah,
that gives them a good starting point for the year.
What did you just say?
I said you're judging a book by its cover.
It does look like a library teacher for 8th graders.
They don't have different grade levels for libraries.
If I win the lottery tomorrow, I'm getting Jade to drive my car.
Okay, but there's going to be tornadoes tomorrow, so you can't do that.
Oh, yeah, tornadoes. 4 tornadoes in the Triad area tomorrow. I want y'all to hunker down and be careful because Chris Carter says, I don't care what Daniel Harrison says, tomorrow that Appalachian wedge is not going to do anything.
We want you to go chase the storm and get live coverage, okay?
I will.
In the 83 Bravado.
That number 83 Bravado, let me tell y'all this. As of today, getting out here at the Choice Tire Automotive Studios in Kernersville, North Carolina, 1,790 miles on that thing in 13 days.
Vroom, vroom.
The number 83 Bravado is a good one. All right. As always, we want you, Sydney, please to say that. I hope everybody's seen our sponsors steadily right there. I don't even know if Daniel Harrison and them noticed that. I know Tommy Newell was watching earlier, but if you look right there on the corner of that screen, there's Velocita. Messer, I am so honored and privileged to have you as a producer. And y'all, Eric just one day he said, what do you think about this? And then here we have this now. So good job, buddy. That is very impressive. That's going to have to make me raise prices on sponsorship because that's the bang for the buck's definitely there now. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't felt very creative this month, and I got a little creative kick, and I was like, let me change up the show a little bit.
I like it a lot. I really, really do. Go ahead, Sydney.
All right. We'd like to thank H&H Auto Repair, Velasta, Race for Kids, Pulliams Hotdogs and BBQ, Precision Built Spindles, Realtor Renee Hackett, Ideal Corn, Affordable Septic, Enticing Icings, Dutton Safer Systems, The Garage Shop, Choice Tire and Automotive, Frank Steaks, J&T Services, DL Outfitters, Gary Brown Dream 68, Midway Dry Cleaners, Cobble Speed Shop, JTA, Soft Wash and Roof Cleaning, Koger Plumbing, 5 Points Tire and Auto, Harkey Litigation, Ever Ready Mixed Concrete, Heroes Patriot Water, Hall's Heating and Air, Robbins Sandblasting, Mule Skinner Trucking, Messer Media, Garage Doors of the Triad, MJ Printing and Graphics, Midway Music Hall and Event Center, Thunder Road Bar and Grill, Midway Mobile Storage, Make TV Great with Nate, Louis Custom Showers and Glass, Radical Fire Protection, Tea Time Sports Bar, Burke Street Pub, Captain's Retreat at Bear Creek, Speed 77, Squeaky Clean Express, and Ceramic Coatings, Colfax Towing and Auto Repair, Velocity USA, KevinSaysYes.com. Drivers, don't forget Sunday is your last chance to come and get your picture taken for this season at Bowman Gray this Sunday, March 9th from 2 to 4 p.m.
Now say it like this.
Pretty please.
If you haven't got your picture made and you're a driver at Bowman Gray Stadium and you don't look like an idiot on that big screen, go to see Eric Messer this Sunday from 2 to 4 at the Field House. And don't forget, he will have driver information sheets. If you do not fill one out, I will make something up as I'm calling your name out for the 2025 season at Bowman Gray.
By the way, so I bought pens for people to fill those out.
And they're all gone.
Yeah, so I put out a piece of paper saying, if you take my pens, I'm going to edit you like a clown edit you to look like a clown on your photo.
Yeah. And
two of my pens got up and walked away, so I'm trying to figure out who stole them. If you return them next Sunday, I won't edit you like a clown.
So let me just do this before we go off there. We're past 9 o'clock, but it ain't gonna be that bad. First off, Bo Martin, a good buddy of mine from down in Mobile. Hey, Bo, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you, Miss Melissa Reed. Great show tonight. She says, good to see you. Justin Long, great show tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan Putnam, as well. Okay, so speaking of sponsors, Steve Stroud, 5 Points Tire and Auto, said, I really like that CC. Great job, Messer. Daniel Harrison put the money sign. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, thank y'all. Pierce Clarkson, as always, man. Thank you for tuning in, Pierce. I appreciate you very much. I thought it was a good show. I really did.
Sure.
I really did. These guests. I like, and Pierce said it earlier in the comments, I really like to let people see what's going on outside of our realm at Bowman Gray Stadium, and then try to get out and give these kids. We had a 5-year-old on today, give them the exposure that they so deserve. And I don't think Jade needs it at all, but just to have somebody like that on the show means a lot to me. So hold on, let me see what Tiffany says before we go. Hold on. She's love y'all. Awesome job as always. I love Tiffany. I'm just going to say. Anyway, all right. So much love to all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for what you do, Sydney Messer. I love you, brother, and I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Until next week, God bless and y'all be safe. Watch out for...